Alright, we're here. I'm alive. You're alive, as far as I know. I ate 5 pieces of pizza last night after coming back from a workout that lasted for an hour and a half. I then proceeded to watch Eraserhead for the first time in a very long while. I woke up at 11:30 a.m. today. I took a shower. I ate a mango, a cup of Greek yogurt, and just a fucking fistful of gummy vitamins. And now I'm here. I am, in fact, in a perfect state of mind to talk about all this commercial bullshit that I bought in America. And here we are. Where's the goddamn timer? Here is the goddamn timer. 20 minutes. Let's go. This video is already a minute long. I'm sorry about the little, mistake that I made in the last video. I do not know how letters work. But here we are. We're back on track. And we're starting the timer. And we're going to talk about La Dolce Vita. Now here's the thing, though. One of my most viewed reviews is for La Dolce Vita. So I'm not really going to talk much about the movie. I'll only say that this film is probably my favorite Fellini movie. Not only that, it really is the movie where you can tell it's the transition between Fellini's earlier work and his later, more abstract work. And I feel like 8.5 was like the true turning point. But this was clearly the predecessor for that. And I don't know, what can you say? You can tell, some of the more abstract, symbolic elements of his filmmaking that came later on. You see subtle moments in this movie where you can tell that that's where he's going. But it's much more closer to La Strada and all those films than, I don't know, like Juliet and the Spirits or whatever. But yeah, I mean, it's great. Rome looks fucking amazing in this movie. Now, I've been to Rome once for, a week, and I know what Rome looks like. I have no idea what Rome looked like back in the 60s. I'm just gonna assume that it hasn't changed that much, but yeah, Rome looks amazing in this movie. Even though it's in black and white, it still looks amazing. Now, what are the special features? It's mostly interviews. I don't think there's there's not really a making of documentary, which is a shame. But, yeah, interviews with Fellini and Marcello Mastroianni. I love that actor. I just never learned how to pronounce his last name. This poster, this cover here, I mean, this is obviously, a really landmark setting. I'm not necessarily sure if this was... I would have chosen that shot where you see, the main character. What's the name of the main character? Fuck. Okay, so basically the main character, you see him from the back, and you see the girl way over there. I'm talking about the last scene. You see the girl way over there, and there's a weird thing in the back that looks like a cross. I would have chosen that scene. That scene's really the one scene that really encapsulates everything that this film is trying to do. Or maybe I'm an idiot. I don't know. I'm insecure. If you never got to know me. And now another movie that I have not seen, and a director that I just have not really gotten into that much. Not because I don't like him. It's just that I just never got into him. Robert Bresson. I know that's probably how most Americans pronounce it. Robert Bresson. That sounds French. I know this guy's not French. He's Italian, right? I'm pretty sure he's Italian. Yeah. So, A Man Escaped. Have not seen this movie. I think the only film of his that I've seen is Alcazar Balthazar. Is that how you pronounce it? The movie about the donkey. I love movies that are about animals and are also very painful to watch. But have not seen this movie. I've heard that it's really tense. I heard that it's really good. I've heard that it's the sound editing and the sound mixing of this movie is absolutely amazing. I'm really looking forward to that aspect of the film. I think this cover indicates a lot of what's going to happen, at the end. Hold on, I'm just going to open the curtains for more brighter lighting. I'm not sure if it's really going to change anything. Let's see if it does. It kind of does. Just slightly. It does look kind of better. So yeah, I can't really say much about this movie. Oh, wait a minute. Is it French? Fuck. Is it? Maybe it is. It is French, so it is Robert Bresson, or whatever. I thought it was... Why did I think it was Italian? Is this the guy who made that movie about the donkey? Am I being, like, a total noob right now? I don't know. Fuck it. So there's, like, a TV episode about Bresson. There's, blah, 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 some stuff with, another documentary about Bresson, that has interviews with Tarkovsky, Paul Schrader, who's the writer for Taxi Driver, and he obviously directed a lot of movies afterwards. And Louis Malle, one of the most underrated French New Wave directors ever. So there you go. Is there anything else? There's a bunch of documentaries here. I guess this Blu-ray is going to be my entry point for Bresson and his movies and his style, or whatever, which is going to be fun. And then, well, this is a much more famous movie that most people have probably seen. Midnight Cowboy. Again, probably one of my most viewed reviews. And what can you really say about this film? It's great. There's almost nothing wrong with it. I think it's honestly better than I remember it to be. And it's amazing that this is like... Is this the only X-rated movie that ever won Best Picture at the Oscars? Is this the only one? I think it is. I know it's not the only one that's been nominated, but whatever. Yeah, you can always watch the review. I know that's a really lazy way to talk about this movie, but still, I love... Because this came out... This is one of the most, premier films of the American New Wave, and you can tell, like, the jump cuts, the very silent, flashbacks that makes it much more disturbing. The two very rebellious and almost vulnerable performances that portray masculinity. It was an extremely revolutionary film for its time, and you can obviously say, like, maybe, are they gay or are they not? No, it's not. That's not really important. The important thing is that it's a movie that shows intimate vulnerability and a very intimate relationship between two guys that doesn't say no homo at the end, which is revolutionary for American films and just films in general. And I don't know, like, Dustin Hoffman's performance in this movie is soul-wrenching, and what happens to him at the end is, like, genuinely just, it crushes your heart. And throughout the film, he just kind of destroys you. And what is there? There's, like, a video essay with a commentary, the screenwriter's journey. So basically, they have a documentary on the screenplay, the screenwriter, 2 short documentaries on the making. Oh, and the release of Midnight Cowboy. That's got to be interesting. Because that's what, when you watch the film, yeah, sure, you like to know how the film was made and what the thought process was, but the release of this movie, that's got to be, like, the really interesting part. So, yeah, Midnight Cowboy. I'm sure most people have seen it. If not, it's definitely easily one of the best picture winners at the Oscars. Easy. Top 10 at least. So, yeah. You should probably see it. It's pretty good. You might have heard of it. Here's one of my favorite movies of all time. And I just had to buy it. My Own Private Idaho. If you've seen that stupid video that I made of my favorite movies of all time, you would know that this movie means a lot to me. I saw this film after I was rejected by this elite high school thing that I was trying to get into. Like, in hindsight, I'm not sure why I was so emotional about it, but, any rejection note that you get from anything, whether it's a school or a person that you like, it hurts, initially. And I was very confused, and I was really sad and bummed out. And that night that I got my rejection slip, I watched this movie for the first time. And it completely destroyed me. Because it reminded me so much of the things that was going on. Like, I at that time, I had this little separation with a very good friend of mine. We kind of stopped being friends because of personal issues, of issues that have been accumulating throughout the years, and I thought it wasn't a big deal because we're friends, we can deal with that. But I guess, and from his part, it wasn't, and it wasn't, deal worthy. So he basically just stopped talking to me all of a sudden, and I was also very lost, and I had no idea where I was going. And then this film came into my life. And if you know anything about this movie and what happens to these two, and what happens to this character in particular, you would know just how much it spoke to me, and it made me just cry endlessly and get angry at every single moment that River Phoenix's character was screwed over. And it's so good. It's my personal favorite Gus Van Sant movie, and Gus Van Sant's the director. And he's definitely one of the best modern directors in my opinion. He's made a lot of very versatile movies. He's made this, which is much more closer to an art house independent film, and then he'll make something like Good Will Hunting, which is more of a feel good. It's well made, but clearly kind of slightly Oscar baity. And then he'll make something like Elephant. So, he's a really versatile director, but still, this is the moment where I feel like he kind of touched upon a very personal topic. Maybe for him, definitely for me. Yeah, I think I've talked enough about this movie. That was basically a review. This movie's amazing, and this is the best River Phoenix movie, hands down. Probably the best Keanu Reeves performance, maybe. Not really sure about that. When he's good, he's good. When he's bad, he's kind of off. Okay, so there's a making of documentary. That's great. I want to hear about that. A 2005 interview with Gus Van Sant. Kings of the Road, 2005 interview with film scholar Paul Arthur and Van Zant's adaptation of Shakespeare's Henry IV and Orson Welles' Chinese at Midnight. That might be interesting. Conversation, with an actor, River Phoenix's sister. That might get really emotional. So yeah, I love the fact that this is not a used. Well, it is used, but it intentionally looks like this. It's not actually torn or ripped or folded to look to. It's not a damaged Blu-ray. It actually kind of looks like it's already been damaged, which says a lot about the movie. I've talked way too much about this film alone. Let's fast forward a bit, because we need to make this more of an 8-parter, because it's already way too long. Nashville, Robert Altman, great movie. Saw it only maybe not even 2 years ago. It's been, I saw it maybe a year and a half ago for the first time. And man, it's a lot. I would love to see a documentary on the making of this movie. I would love to see that, because it's such a big film with so many personalities and so many things going on, even though at the end it kind of comes together to kind of portray the disarray, the political disarray of 70s America and whatnot. And yeah, this is a good cover. This says a lot. All these people, and they form the American flag. That's a solid cover right there. Maybe a bit pretentious, maybe, but it kind of looks like something like a really edgy teenager might draw for a cover for Nashville. But still, I like it because I am kind of an edgy teenager inside, because I can't be an edgy teenager literally, because I'm 20 fucking years old now and I still don't feel like it. So yeah, I'd love to see a documentary. The film, there's a lot to say about the movie. The music's great. The acting, at times it breaks your heart. At times it is some of the funniest stuff you'll ever see. Shelley Duvall's character in this movie is one of the most anger-inducing characters I've ever seen. If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. And I don't know, man. Is it the best? No, it's not. The 70s was a weird time for American films. And so many things were happening. So many movies were happening that was just revolutionizing cinema constantly, again and again and again. And this movie's just one of them. And this this might be the film where Robert Altman kind of found his footing as a director. Like, he finally found his style, the overlapping dialogue, the multiple stories, how the themes kind of accumulate together by the end. All that, screenplay structure that he loved doing. This is where it's not The Long Goodbye. This is really the movie where it all came together. So yeah, love the cover. The documentary sounds amazing. And 3 archival interviews with Altman. Might be fun. Might be fun. Okay, so we can do more. We can definitely do more. Here's a movie that I love, and most people should watch if they care about movies. Night of the Hunter. Night of the Hunter. Charles Laughton's only directorial film. Is that really? It's the only film he directed, and man, if only I could make something this good by just making one movie, that would be amazing. Like, Robert Mitchum's performance in this film, probably like top 5. I would put it in top 5 best. Easily one of the top 5 best American actor performance. Is he American? It's one of the top 5 best performances in American films, in American film history. I would say it's so startling. And the thing is, he never becomes a monster in this movie. There's never a moment where you see him and you're like, yeah, that's the guy who's gonna kill the children. No, like, he's always quiet. He's calm. He's calculating constantly. And when he's like chasing the kids, he's not like going at them like a fucking werewolf. No, he's just like, he's whistling. Like, he's having fun. He's enjoying this. And the fact that his character thinks that this is him doing God's work, that's horrifying. That's the scary part. That kind of makes this movie a horror movie, honestly. And yeah, this image, great image. It's a very startling image. What can I say about the movie? The movie looks so good. It looks so good, especially any scene that's set at night, especially at the end when the kids are running away. Like, the moonlight, and when you just see his shadow, oh, it's so good. And the kids are amazing, too. And, like, think of this, came out in, like, 1955. Yeah, 1955. But he thought this was okay in 1955. It was probably not. It was probably really controversial, but it was great. It's great. And it's, like, 93 minutes. It's the perfect length. It's so good. And, yeah, a new documentary on the film. I gotta see that. Clips from the Ed Sullivan Show with cast members. They perform a deleted scene. That I never knew there. I mean, of course there are deleted scenes, but still, a 15-minute archival documentary about the film that featuring Robert Mitchum. Gotta see that. And yeah. Oh, and there's like an interview with the cinematographer. That's gotta be fun too. Okay. Charles Laughton directs Night of the Hunter, a 2.5-hour treasure trove of outtakes and behind-the-scenes footage. And that's why you buy this kind of stuff, man. That's the shit you buy. That's your money's worth. And now this is probably going to be the last film I'm going to talk about in this video. Notorious, Alfred Hitchcock. Now, I watched this movie very recently. Again, for like right after I bought this, I watched this at my friend's place in Missouri, and I gotta say, man, this is probably his most minimalistic movie ever. Like, this is the blueprint for basically almost every film he made afterwards. Like, for me, maybe excluding like The Birds or Rope, like things that are like really ultra conceptual for Hitchcock, most of his basic movies, like North by Northwest, Vertigo, Psycho, Rear Window, it's basically adding something to the formula that Notorious was made upon. You got the femme fatale figure, this figure who's like strong but also vulnerable. She has a dark past, something about her family or whatever. And then there's this dark, handsome guy who's eventually going to fall in love with a small woman, but at the same time, he's also kind of tortured. He's not able to say things properly. He's not able to, like, be honest with other people. And then there's this whole thing going on with criminals and whatnot. And, you know, like the POV shots, the POV shots, the MacGuffin usage of the key, the way... There's a lot I can talk about this movie, but it really does feel like the most essential Hitchcock film. Like, every single thing about this movie screams out Hitchcock's stylistic choices that he'll make in all the movies that he'll make after this film. And maybe because of that, I'm going to stop the timer here because we only got like 48 seconds, so I'm just going to finish with this movie. Maybe because of that, it is kind of boring. It is slightly boring compared to the other ones, because the other ones are slightly... because he adds more to it, there is a sense of a cartoonish element to it. This is a very cut and dry Hitchcock film. And if you love aesthetic choices and stylistic choices and technical aspects, you would love this movie. Totally. But if you want something just a bit more added to that, this might not be for you. I don't regret buying this. I feel like if I watch it again a few years later, and if I watch it again and again and again, I feel like I'll appreciate it more. And yeah, and you have all these like documentaries. Once Upon a Time, Notorious, a 2009 documentary about the film, featuring Isabella Rossellini and Peter Bogdanovich and Klaus Chabrol and all these other people. That's got to be great. And new program about the film's visual style. New scene analysis of the film. Maybe the key scene. Maybe the scene where you realize she's got the key at the party. Maybe. I don't really know. I love this cover though. I know this is like a new edition. Because I know the original cover is just like her in like a black, I think it's like a pitch black cover with, and then you see Ingrid Bergman, and you see that she has the key. Honestly, this is kind of better. This is better. So yeah. Yeah. I guess that's gonna be about it for this one. We'll see you in the next one, as these things go. Unless you get busy and you decide that my opinion is not worth your time, which is totally understandable. I understand. I still love you. Kinda, sorta. I don't really love anybody. Bye.